3 weeks. Hey buddy. Hey buddy, do you want to be in the video? People do love when you're in the video. Are you coming up? Yeah, yes you are. Are you gonna be internet famous? People love the doggies. Oh! Yeah, sister's jealous she's not internet famous yet too, right? What's up YouTube fam, Robbie C here, and we are in day 20 of Vlogmas. That's right, we are 4/5 of the way through this Vlogmas experience, and we are here for another installment of the Get Good at Disc Golf series, where I break down my game, trying to help lay a roadmap so that you guys can hopefully follow this game plan and be improving as well. I'd love to hear in the comments down below what have been some of the more helpful pieces that we've covered during the Get Good series, because this isn't just stopping during Vlogmas. We're gonna be carrying this into the next year as well, because I am seriously dedicated to seeing my game improve and helping try to come up with new content and material to help you improve as well. Now, one thing we talk about a lot during the form review process, or while we're changing our form, is that when you get to a field and you throw for the purpose of correcting form, it can often look different than how you actually throw while you're out there on the course. I know, for instance, that my coach Mike Strauss has been taking notes of my entire Vlogmas series and looking at the throws I've been doing during the round, and we plan on going over some of that in the new year. So while I have both felt and seen some changes by seeing the results of the throws alongside watching my filmed throws during fieldwork and practice sessions, I wanted to head out to the course to actually see if I was able to implement any of these into my actual round. So what happened while we were out there on the course? Well, obviously I saw huge improvements. I was throwing 100 feet farther on every single shot. I shot my lowest round that I've ever shot at that course, and really all the effort that I put in just 3 weeks of changing my form was all that I needed, and I'm joining the Pro Tour in 2023. I wish. If you didn't catch the sarcasm there, because the interwebs makes communicating things like that a little difficult sometimes, there were definitely some positives and some negatives that I saw during my round out there on the course. Some of the positives were that I actually did see some distance increases. I wanted to test myself a little bit, and so on certain holes where I would normally throw a mid-range per se, I decided to throw a putter instead. And then on other holes, I really wanted to test it, so I just threw the same disc that I normally did to see if I gained any distance on a straight comparison. And just while focusing on that extra bit of shoulder coil, I really did notice some distance increases, and it felt easier to get to baskets that I had been reaching in the past, which was a hugely positive sign that the field work and form work we had been doing is starting to work. But the drawback was that while I was focused on shoulder coil, I had focused a lot less on where my head was positioned, and I noticed as I went back and looked at some of the footage that I was leaning into my shots once again, and that some of the old habits that I really feel like I dial in when I'm in a field work or form work session were still creeping into my form while I was out there on the course. Which takes me to some really important takeaways for us to keep in mind. I want to take a quick pause from the action to talk about an amazing company who helps make this entire Vlogmas stream possible. Today we're talking about Finish Line Laser. As I've talked with Thomas throughout this entire Vlogmas possible, truly the two words that stand out to me are professionalism and an attention to detail. I realize that's like more than 2 words. Thomas truly pays attention to the fine details and only puts out some amazing high quality products. But even if you don't run a YouTube channel that has its own logo, Thomas still makes some fantastic products that can be super personalized for you and your family. Like this incredible dog mom mug that he made for my wife. So truly, if your mind can make it up and a laser can cut it up, then look no further than Finish Line Laser. You can find a link to their shop and start finding that very special gift for those loved ones in your life in the description below. So what are the takeaways from this experiment so far? The first, this further confirms for me why I think it's important, if you have questions about your form, to have a friend take candid videos of you while you are playing during your round. Usually that means just telling a friend, hey, can you record 2 different drives throughout our round, but don't let me know when you're going to record them so that I can get as natural a throw as possible. When I'm in the field, I'm not really worried about scoring well, so I can truly turn my brain off about hitting a line or throwing the disc and just focus on teaching my body those natural mechanics. And yet when I find myself on the course, I instantly turn into trying to score well, even if it's in a round that's very casual with friends where I shouldn't necessarily care too much about the score. That's why even in this 30-day game changer plan, I highly encourage people to not play any rounds for 30 days. The moment that we find ourselves on the course, we can regress back to our old natural form and kind of throw away some of the forward progress we're making in terms of form change. The second takeaway though is positive, and just like the lighting that you're experiencing, which is the difference between my wife and I's preferences of this room has all of the lamp lighting and this room has the overhead lighting. When I throw a shot, I can already feel the night and day differences and see the results in front of me from when I've hit what I'm working on, as opposed to when I feel like I turn back and do things natural. Even if the adjustments are slight, these slight changes make my form feel drastically different, and those changes truly make what I'm doing feel significantly easier. And the last two things that I'll close the video out with, which are still super important and that all of us should keep in front of us, especially as we're making changes during the off season, is that number 3, I need to make sure that I remember I've only been doing this for a fixed amount of time, and even though it's only been about 3 weeks, I spent one of those weeks recuperating from surgery. So it's only been 2 weeks and I shouldn't have high expectations of, wow, I've gained 100 feet of distance already. But fourth and finally, my favorite part of this round wasn't testing out how I was doing with my form or even seeing those form changes. It was simply reminding myself how enjoyable the game of disc golf can be when you play it with friends. We played a little bit of mob golf during this filmed round, and seeing the hype and excitement that players get when they throw a good shot just reminds me of why we're doing this. Disc golf is a sport that is intended to be fun, so let's make sure that we're keeping the fun even while we're trying to progress our game. So that's gonna wrap it up for day 20 of Vlogmas. Really just trying to check all of the boxes of the form change journey. And a journey is exactly what it is. I am so honored to be able to walk through this with each and every one of you. I'm so grateful for the support that you continue to leave in the comments about how we're doing this together. I don't have it all figured out. I'm not the best player in the world, and I don't think that I ever will be, but my hope is to just continue being honest with each and every one of you about what I'm going through, so that as we go through these things together, we truly know that we're not alone in this journey. With that being said, I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I hope you can make it fantastic for someone else too. We'll see you tomorrow for day 21, but for now, I'm gonna leave you with the birdie.